Onomatopoeia!
Interrupted me. We're live.
Onomatopoeia.
Woohoo!
What we got?
Craig.
Let me know if it's too loud or. I welcome you to the city of Estelheim. Last we left off, the party has finally made their arduous trek up to the well, not northernmost, but highest point of elevation in the Stained Glass Lands, the city-state known as Estelheim, where 3 individual races fled to escape the very early wars that spread across the stained glass lands upon the dissension of the first deities. The party, starting their way in the Twin Blade cities after the fall of Eirika's Tears, trekked up through the channel of the tiny basin known as the Lower Road through the cities of the Curious Mangrove, where you fought Leora's godfather, an interesting noble with strange proclivities, who you discovered to be one of the choir folk, a forgotten race of bat-like individuals. Why is there a turn order? Hang on. Needs to be cleared.
Because we're an initiative already.
But in either case, you made your way up to Ilisker and took an underground passage to the city of Vale. Some interesting things occurred during that, where the discovery of Kas, a Yuan-Tu who is tracking the party, a Dream Eater, had been spying on you. You passed to the city of Algiz, where you aided Hell Knights in disposing of an individual known as a Beholder, or the Beholder of Algiz, Ilara, who turned out to be the mother of Lorenz, now put to peace from her madness. You head up to the city of Laguz, where you met 4 individuals. 3 paladins, Mauve, a very boisterous Leonin warrior, Agarax, the son of an herbalist, a rather timid black dragonborn, and Sting, an ostentatious duelist from the Shimmering Sands, who are being guided by another Yuan-Ti known as the Storyteller, an interesting individual who plays around with memories as their food, quite literally for him. But you made your way up to the city of Laguz, dealt with the Whistler, an agent of Beldain, sent after Chain. And unless you have anything else to add, you made your way up to the city of Estelheim. Now my question for you, I know that you had a 4-hour-long roleplay session that somehow didn't cover all you wanted to converse about.
Sorry.
On your way up to Estelheim. Now is the time to do it, but please be considerate of the fact that we only have so much time, and sometimes less is more in terms of roleplay. What would you like to do? Any more conversations on the 3-day journey? This trek up just gets colder and colder in the air.
In the interest of time, I think I will hold off on the conversation with Leora until after we get settled in Estelheim a little bit more, but I will want to have a quick conversation with Fenton.
And there you go.
Bird away.
So yeah, on day 2, sometime along their trek up, Chain will come up to Fenton and just start out. Hey, Fenton.
Yes, Chain. How are you?
I'm all right, all things considered. Are you able to use that sending spell at all today?
I mean, I used 4 out of 6 for the whole journey, so for the sake of this, we'll say yes if you're good with that, Phil.
Sure.
Yes, Jane, what is it you would like sent?
I want to try and send to somebody in the Twin Blades. I want to I had a talk with Foster last night, and it just has me a little nostalgic. Want to try and send something to my parents, let them know that I'm still alive and well.
Well, I can only send to those I have met, but I did meet a couple of lore singers in the Twin Blades. Perhaps, if you are comfortable with it, they could pass the message along.
I mean, I think it's more if they're okay with going into the Kenku slums, but I do at least have their address and their names, so I think it should be easy unless they've moved since I last saw them.
I don't see why they wouldn't be all right with passing along information.
Then the message that Chain will have Fenton deliver for him. Deliver to Chime and Bell at insert address here. Mom, Dad, I'm alive and well, among friends. Keep Oxlitney away. Then there's kind of a brief pause before he adds on, I love you. And that is the message.
And I will send those exact words to Lore Singer Habas at the Keeper's chapter in the Twin Blades.
Excellent. There is a long moment as we wait for a response. When the message comes back, we will have to find someone who knows the individual to contact. We will get back to you later.
It might take a moment or two to deliver the message, Chain, but I have been informed that they'll let me know once it's been delivered.
That's okay. Thank you.
Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, that's it for now.
All right.
And that is all I got for that.
Anything else on these 3 days as you head up to Estelheim?
I'm
Nope,
here.
I'm good.
Good.
I do not think that Lore has anything else to say.
Alright. Then, as you approach the gates of Estelheim, I will change the map. You have finally made it.
Huzzah!
Dun, 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 dun,
Oh my
dun,
God.
dun, dun. Oh,
Pretty.
oh.
That
I
is
thought I was-
stunning.
Also terrifying, but it's fine.
Look,
The
there's a giant
city-
wall.
The city, you know, is built on a ring at the very peak of this mountain. You can see it extends around the lip's edge. In a near concentric circle, the city is basically a crescent. The side that aims southward, where you head initially, is known as let me see. Shellside. Sunny, constantly bathed in Kvara's sun, as it is the nearest place to the sun above. The sun beats down sort of in the center line, the equator of the stained glass lands, which means the opposite side of this peak, the penumbra as it is called, never sees it. You know, this side to be very warm, sunny, quite affluent. The penumbra is rugged, working class, cold, but very proud, very resolute in the way it stands and what it stands for. And connecting this to a mire, a hollow maze of tunnels, a uh, place known as the Underbelly, beneath everything, out of Kvara's sight, out of his graces. It is the slums district. It is where bad things happen. Many secrets are buried here, but many have a tendency of reaching beyond the grave. As soon as you see the two double-door gates open up, you know that Estelheim is very well defended naturally and doesn't invest too much in its own defense. The scream from Tlani, the same one as mentioned last session, peals across the air, stripping it thin. Wind whips by, sharp wind. When you inhale, it's painful, this miasma, this curse. But it's for a brief second, you're far enough away. But even then, from this vantage point, you can see the bluish-black blight of Tlani has visibly spread in the trees, in the forest, probably swooping down past Algiz from where you saw. Much of the Sewell forest, all the way in the distance, seems to be black now. So, the gates swing wide, and you can see a bunch of guards immediately call out, urging you to come inside. Friendly, very much so. But seeing you're alive, shaking a little bit from this scream, they urge you on in. What do? You follow?
I have a destination. There's nothing that can stand between me and it. I walk forward.
You walk forward. You're greeted. Well, there are no... It's not the Ochre Kingdom, where some races might face scrutiny, and you can see a mix of them. Some Orin lizard folk, mostly blue, white, green scales. You can see some Tabaxi, many Dragonborn, and many Aarakocra. The gates swing shut behind you, and you are let free in this city. You can see it's compact, quite crowded compared to everything, and on a noticeable slant. Might be difficult for you to get around just walking. It seems locals have a better feel around this area, well, unless you're fenced and it can fly up. But
Just me.
one of them, you can see a Leonin female, dressed in standard guard's attire, chainmail, carrying a spear, walks up and says, "Hello, travelers. What can I help you with? What brings you here?"
Can I ask, Fel, is there, just among the gate guards, is there any kind of general air of panic about how much does it seem to be noticed what just happened in Talani?
Roll an insight check. Yes, there seems to be an air of apprehension around this town as of the last few minutes. You can see there are many doors and windows that have been opened, people peering outside to see. You can see the birds have been spooked and have flown away. Many people are rushing about the streets, not in panic, but certainly in apprehension, kind of wondering. A lot of people are talking to each other, muttering darkly. The guards are too. This one's pulled away to speak with this group that has entered.
We are on something of a pilgrimage to the observatory at the peak.
Ah.
It seems time may be of the essence. If you could point us in that direction.
Well, you want to take the cable car up if you wish to go to the observatory. Watch the new dawn, yes?
Yes, correct.
Well, I hope you know what you're getting yourself into. But in either case, she points.
No, if you could elaborate on that point.
People here are superstitious about them. You know how your parents say respect your elders, and fortune tellers in the family are not to be double-crossed. Well, the Watcher of the New Dawn, they stand above us all, and they claim to be our elders in some pretentious kind of way. We don't mess with them, they don't interfere with us. I wouldn't say they're disliked, but how do I say it? We give them a wide berth when they come through town.
Understood.
But many people
They-
go up to see them. So I do not blame you.
Very well then, as you were saying.
Yes. Beyond the river, the waterfall, there is a cable car that should drag you up to the mainmast there. You might see some of the underbelly, but don't be too scared. They can't reach you from there. Well, be on your way. Good luck with what you wish to do. Welcome to Esselheim.
Much
Do
appreciated.
visit the arena if you wish. We're quite proud about it.
It is a beautiful sight.
He begins to climb up to a post on this stone wall that seems to occupy the perimeter of this carved out city.
We should be on our way then, yes?
Before the world ends.
Before the world ends, preferably.
On your way, if you'd like to go roll perception checks as you make your way through the Shale Side district. One of you at advantage or two of you individually. Oh, there we go.
I can add more to mine if I need to with the sound
Sure.
of time.
Chain and Reed, you hear that there are people chatting and whirring, everything's abuzz. Not only with the conversation of this scream, but you can hear a few different mentions of the phrase the Council of Seven being thrown around among individuals. It's a common sort of phrase that you hear people speculate on, speak excitedly, speak wordly about. But in either case, you can see that there's a very expansive network of cable cars and sort of carts that are built into the side of this mountain for ease of transport for its citizens. And it's not too hard to begin sitting inside one of them and sort of hearing the mechanical whir, sliding the door shut, feeling it rock. There seems to be a central station around halfway through the Shale Side, next to quite a number of bars, taverns, inns, and generally where individuals of the more affluent proclivity would stay. The Shale Side can get pretty expensive, but, well. I'm assuming all of you are joining up to the cable car that leads up north to the observatory. Can't see it, it's covered in clouds at the moment, but...
Indeed.
Would I have?
Yep.
Would I have seen a cable car before from Thursdays?
No, not in Duty says. If they did exist, they would have already been torn down and the infrastructure shot. But Duty says isn't a very hilly place.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very mountainous, it's quite flat.
No.
Sorry?
Go ahead.
The doors to this cart shut. With the six of you, it's a bit crowded, but comfy nonetheless. You can see glass and wood have been... this is constructed out of rather nice materials. And up you go, next to a crystal clear waterfall that roars down the side of this mountain. You hear the mechanical whir of motors and mechanisms as you're slowly, rockingly carried up. From this vantage point above the clouds, you can see southward over the shimmering sands. It's over the stained glass lands. It's quite beautiful. The shimmering sands all the way in the distance, a warm orange-yellow glow. The black and blue bruise of Tlani impacting this world. The brilliant emerald green of the Farai Kosi jungle, where the Inari dynasty claims its land far in the southern peninsula. And the ever-auburn Ochre Kingdom perpetually in fall to your left. Several minutes pass by, and you realize that, yes, this is where you will find answers. This is where it is. You briefly pass through the center, a little outcropping, and you can see below a vast expanse of mined material. You realize that the tip of this mountain is hollow, supported by structures and beams, and instead replaced by slums, shacks, shantytowns, things built atop each other without regard to what is below. A veritable nest of people, tunnels, maze work. And then you break free through the north, and a snowy peak awaits you as you pull up to a station.
How
It's so pretty.
long it has taken me. I can't feel the air.
I feel like I can barely breathe this air.
It's
It is
quite exhausting. It's thin, it's cold.
Reed, how long ago precisely was it when you and Voshka first found what you did?
Can't be sure if I was in the bottom of that canal for an hour or a week. But the first meeting of ours. Fel, how long was it between our joint first session and my actual first session?
It would have been about early spring for you, so 3-4 months at this point.
Perhaps a third a year.
Well, I hope and assume they still have what we need.
If they do not, I will have some choice movements to direct at their heads.
I thought we talked about not killing them.
Let's at least assume we are outnumbered for now.
Let's go. I have no more patience. Reed will try to hold back cackles as he's ambling, loping towards the
Scuffling.
observatory.
You pull up to a station, embark on what appears to be a marble-built edifice into this wall. You are at what appears to be the very, very peak above the cloud layer. Snow surrounds everything beyond the walkways of this observatory. You can see several adjoined buildings with sweeping architecture, two-story, mostly brick. Joining each other. They appear to be dormitories of some nature. There appears to be a central location, some watchtowers, and then in the distance, peeking up above everything else, a clockwork-like steampunk observatory. You can see a winding spiral staircase leading up to it in the open air, covered in snow, frost, ice. Lever mechanisms, whirring gears, and a large telescope peering from the center. There is activity here. Individuals in mostly scholarly clothing, very warm. It's bitingly cold outside here. Those of you who didn't prepare adequately for the journey might be a bit chilly at this point, but There are lights containing warm fires that many of these individuals huddle around. Most carry with them what appear to be scholarly garb, books at their sides, some staffs, some swords. But most regard you with a somewhat friendly look. Don't pay you too much attention. Reed, the one that catches your eye is a familiar sight. Sort of seated on stairs, carving at something. Sort of nervous, thin, skittish-looking Kenku, with a massive backpack bigger than his torso, strapped to his shoulders. You can see half of his face has been reconstructed out of silver. His right arm and right side are mechanical prostheses, whirring and tilting. You can see that his right arm has a wing of bronze that he has made, kind of pulling at it, like an Aarakocra's, but his left Kenku arm does not. You can see he still wears the monocle he does on his one good eye. Too many potions and things, stuff, trinkets jingle at his hips. His bag, when he stands, as he sees you and smiles, you can hear the clinking of too much glass against glass. If he runs, certain ingredients might mix explosively. But he waves at you with his prosthetic arm.
He doesn't get the chance. I pounce.
Oh,
Echo!
hello, you made it! Yes!
You conquered that city. You
Yes, you
live. I turn back
Look.
to I turn back to the rest of the group. Little bird.
Yes, hello. I was told you'd bring friends. I'm Echo. I was with Reed in Turisas. I got him out.
This one
I would say-
exploded.
Well, technically no. I had a fire resistance potion I imbibed before. Well, I did explode partially, not all the way, but partially. Yeah. Welcome to. Are you visiting? Do you?
Where is it? Is it secret? Is it safe?
Oh yeah. Yes, it is very secret, very safe. It's kept by Lady Eleanor.
We must speak.
It's the point. Yes.
Wait. I'm like shaking, like I'm freezing. Take my pack off, shuffle through it, find a spot that's like extra padded, and withdraw the last potion that Echo gave me. Thrust it at Echo.
Yeah. Oh, let me roll a dexterity check. Hang on. He catches it, but very barely. You can see it fumbles between. He's still not quite used to using this prosthetic arm, but he catches it nonetheless. Well, thank you. It's
How
my
many
potion.
gnolls did you kill? Huh?
Uh,
How many
I
city
didn't-
blocks burned as you
I didn't stop to
escaped?
count. I'm sorry.
Lost count?
I did not count. Well, whatever makes you happier, I guess. But yes. Lady Eleanor does wish to speak to you. Yes, I guess I'm a
Yes,
resistant.
yes. We all talk. Come.
Yes.
Direction?
Follow me. Follow me. Are you and your friends coming too?
Yes.
Please, yes.
Of course. Well, for those of you who haven't met, I am Echo. I am.
He exploded.
Well, I can do more than that, you know. I'm an assistant for Lady Eleanor of the Watchers. So come follow me, please. And he begins to sort of hike his pack up and very warily stand. You can see that he has developed a hunch out of necessity for carrying what probably is heavier than him on his back. And as he trudges up this staircase very slowly, you can hear the disorganized rattle and clutter of all sorts of things that are probably not placed in any delicate manner inside. He seems to be treading carefully as to avoid them properly shattering. But he says, "Yes, well, I've heard a lot about you guys and your endeavors. Are you doing well? Have you found everything to your satisfaction in Esselheim or the Watchers?"
I have been screamed at 3 times now.
Well, did you enjoy it?
No.
I'm sorry?
The scream from below. Are you aware of it
Yeah.
up here?
I heard of it, yes. And there's the faint echo in the mind, but these troubling times. Do you know the individual responsible for it? Well, everyone has their guess, but
Snake.
yes. Good scientist, I will say. You should just think. You should just see the things she accomplished. I guess they're wrong.
I have. It
Well,
took you to take me from the things that Snake Witch accomplished.
well, I did, didn't I? You're right. Yes, I did. He seems a bit more confident in himself. Yes. Right. Okay. Well, what are you? Have you escaped? Are you going back?
Only to burn it.
Wait 1 second. I can see him reach to his side. He seems a bit winded, but he rummages around his pack and finds a potion, a sort of swirling green one. Tosses it down his beak, and can hear the cracking of bone and stretching of muscle as he doubles in size in all dimensions. His pack doesn't, and you can see the adjustable straps around his shoulders merge into one he slings around one shoulder instead. You can see his prosthetic arm has a strap around the elbow where it can automatically hook up to. I'm sorry, that's easier. Well, it's expensive, yes, but I get tired going upstairs with all of this. And
Perhaps I should watch you mix some things.
Well, yes. Right. Yeah. His voice hasn't changed though. He leads you up some staircases and into a slightly warmer, what appears to be reading room, a quiet library of sorts. There are scrolls, there are tomes. But he seems to be taking you directly up towards what appears to be an observatory up there in the north. Well, I will say that Lady Eleanor is ill. She's very old. Don't give her too much grief, please. She just wished to speak to you as urgently as possible.
Too much grief is the world.
Well, I'm not a philosopher, so I don't bother myself with those kinds of thoughts. But in either case, well, I wouldn't say make yourself at home, but slowly you're led up to another set of double doors, the edge of a sort of reddish staircase in the burning sun, far up from this precipice. You can see the rather massive Kenku now pull it open, revealing a quiet room inside, and holds it and says, "If you wish to catch up more, then I will be here. Do not raise your voice too much in the observatory. It tempers with the instruments, apparently. But you might say, please enter."
Thank you, Echo.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Echoes it back in your own voice.
I'll poke Chain. That was the one. You remember, yes?
How could I forget?
Yes. I'm not a liar.
I never took you as one.
Smugine. Okay, what's the room like?
The room has a different music to it. Inside this observatory is a circular room. You can see a circular, around the edge, a sort of spoke-like semicircle of library shelves containing books, sort of radiating from near the center outwards, creating little alcoves with seats, cushions, outposts for lamps, presumably for reading into the night. The other side contains about a quarter of it with all sorts of chairs and tables, devices, charts, maps. Generally things that are supposed to capture the stars. You see many depictions of constellations, notes drawn in, penned in very elegant handwriting. The main focus point of this observatory, though, is unquestionably a sort of swiveling mechanism in the center that holds a massive telescope, brass and bronze and silver, sort of narrowing, concentric. You can see there are angled little viewing. I'm not entirely sure about parts of a telescope in terms of terminology, but places to place your face in and glance downward so it's reflected up to the night sky above. It is still daytime, so you can see a black covering atop the edge of this telescope. But the only figure inside is a seated woman, elderly, you can see by the thinness of the arms, the frailty within them, the sort of grey spots on otherwise orange fur. Seated in what appears to be a wheelchair near one of the tables containing an astrological map. See her briefly raise her head as you enter, her back towards you. You can see cloth gently wrapped around her eyes, but her snout is a warm, kind, inviting smile. She turns her wheelchair towards you as you enter and says, "Oh, welcome. It has been a while. I have waited for some time. Please." "I am Lady Eleanor of the Watchers of a New Dawn. I understand that you come with questions. Sit down. Make yourselves at home." Extends a frail hand outward. She doesn't quite match where you are in terms of where her snout points when she's speaking, but she tries to mimic conversation despite being unable to see. Her ears are attentive. We post her image. What do you do?
Reed will sort of have his own smile fade into a tight-lipped frown, and he's gonna walk up and start circling Eleanor. So long, it's been so long, and the road so twisted. Everything for many months has led to you, little fox.
One remembers a brambled path and not a straight one by the scars it leaves on the skin.
Many scars you have.
In some ways, and she raises a hand to observe her eyes. That is not of your concern. You must be the no.
I am Reed Annalus Charbrine. You've killed me in Turisaz, and now I'm here.
In what way have I resulted in your demise? Premature or good?
Your agents come to pluck something,
And so they have.
but I do not resent it. I wish to say I wish to
Articulate yourself, no. I know you want something. It would do you best to be able to crystallize it. Draw it out. Spit it upon the ground. View it for what it is. Rather than simply chew over your words.
thank you for starting what you did. I was dead long before the body began rotting.
And in a purpose you were given life, rather than the other way around.
Do you think you can continue to give me purpose? You're small, blind, how vulnerable you look, but so many follow you, so many whisper, show me why.
So many have nowhere else to go, Reed. I treat them with kindness. But yes, I can match a purpose of your desire with, I suppose, my purpose in life, my lot, fate. She turns her head towards the rest of the party. And you, the rest of the sorted group? What brings you here? I am certain that you have questions. Please, I may be able to answer them. That is what I am here for.
Fenton will have taken a seat as soon as she offered and just kind of watched Reed, letting Reed kind of take the lead here. But with her turning her attention to the rest of us. Yes, Lady Eleanor, it is a pleasure to finally meet you here. We bring questions, as you suggest. I am first curious, before getting to the questions that we premeditated on, I think it pertinent to ask what you expect from us, what you know of us?
I expect nothing, and I know only what I am capable of observing. Up in that scape. In the same stars we watch. I have a question for you, Fenton. You are an intelligent, learned man. Have you played in your taverns and bars in Oberdis, the game of billiards.
Sure, yes.
This will answer an indirect question your Knoll friend inquired about. But when we observe this world, all we are doing is watching one of those small balls sink into a hole. We see consequences, not decisions, not actions taken. Consider yourself to be one of those many pieces upon a green velvet table. I am one, Reed is one, your other friends are one. If one knows the motion of them crossing this world and the momentum, the impetus that drives them, one can predict how two will result upon interacting with one another, yes? Say, if I know an individual who frequents a bar, I know their name, who they are, what they stand for, and I know myself and what I am interested in, I can reasonably predict what the outcome of our conversation will be should we meet upon one fortnight, yes? Are you following?
I do believe I am, yes.
Perhaps I was not responsible for the death of Reed any less Charbine the first time, but it is very likely I was responsible for the strike that sent one of my agents to change his course in such a certain way. Blight of the Barrows, do you recall that name?
Yes.
I knew more than she did. Her responsibility was not to acquire it. Her responsibility was for, unknowingly on her end, for you to give it to her. She couldn't have known, but I did. But I suppose that is semantics. Fenton Tenebo, you are a bard, yes? A teller of stories?
That is correct.
I posit to you this. If one treats this world as a large table of billiard balls and knows precisely where each one is motioning at each individual time, and one can calculate the interactions, the striking of momentum of personality against one another, would one be able to determine just how it ends? Who's the victor in this game of no players?
Perhaps. You seem to suggest that the outcomes are well known, but the way in which two balls interact is completely dependent on well, who holds the cue, I suppose.
I do not think anyone does. But yet the balls still travel around this table. Not one knows or understands why. Ignan, your name is Foska, yes?
Yes.
That is your clan name.
Yes.
Do you consider yourself godless by choice or by the simple nature of your existence?
My people follow no gods, no
I did the
deities.
most dangerous
It
dash,
has always been.
and somehow
Come to me, please. You can see her very slowly, weakly pull her wheelchair up next to the observatory, to the telescope, and she taps one of the viewing glasses.
Fush will look at the rest of the group before I get following her a little bit tentatively, looking at her before he decides to look into the telescope where she indicates.
You can see that the cover at the edge of this telescope is not a cover but a filter. It seems to block out the sun somehow, and through it you can see a starry landscape, and through it, zoomed in, focused, a brilliant auburn orange star.
I see a star of orange.
You see the soul of Enignan. So I question you, I encourage you to consider, are you truly godless?
Taking his eye off of the telescope, he looks back at Eleanor. How can a soul of my people be up there with the stars when we offer our bodies and everything to the land?
Perhaps the stars are simply the land and they are interconnected in inseparable ways. Or perhaps there's something you're not quite getting.
Shit.
The stars are the place of the Volpanon. I have never heard of it being a place for the folk.
Maybe it is a place for all. And the Volpanils are simply the ones who care to look.
And you are suggesting that
It's not
the
my fault.
folk, Ignon, Oran, Teran, Aquan, that we have deities of our own. Is that what you are trying to say?
I'm doing no suggestions, I'm simply pointing out what I also see. You are the one who must come to your conclusions, Foshka. You are the one who must. For your people. She sighs. Kanku. Forgive me for my inability to pronounce your name as intended, but if I could, I would.
Chain is fine.
Shane, very well. You are misguided. Not by your own intention, obviously, but by individuals who are attempting to lead you astray. I will speak no further on that. You have your own problems to worry about. And
I feel like
lastly,
that's
so
a
good.
pretty. I feel like that's a pretty big problem.
I can't be the
You-
solution to all problems. I can only inform. To do certain things would alter the course of fate beyond what is, I would say, acceptable.
Would you say that making well-informed decisions is important?
Every decision is well informed in the moment it was, Chain. The principle of regret is by being unfair to yourself. If you look back into your past, a day, a week, a year, 2, 10. In every instance I have come across, everyone makes the decisions in their own best of interest with all the information they know at the moment. It may be the wrong decision, yes, but how could you possibly blame yourself for it? In the moment it was right. Don't be so hard on yourself. There's always a foothold out of the mire, if you look deep enough.
What? In the what?
Speaking in metaphors, I'd say. If you wished for me to be more direct, then... well... be true to yourself, not what anybody else tells you to do. She looks curiously at Lorenz.
Lorenz just sitting down.
Which one are you?
Name Lorenz. Volpano.
Are you sure? Are you certain?
As far as I'm concerned.
She gives a long sigh. I see. She straightens and you can see her shoulders kind of roll. The veil in her face lifts a bit. She breathes and sighs. Have you ever wondered, Lorenz, why you are so drawn to the art of card play?
Not particularly, no.
Hmm. If you would be willing to entertain me, there's something very important to me in this instant that I've waited for, how do I say it, for my entire life, as long as it is. It escaped me once, long before, but I suppose that was part of it. To all of you, are there any questions you wish to ask me preemptively before I deliver upon you something that will grant you read direction, will grant you, Foshka, a purpose, and more understanding, and will grant you, Fenton, a story of the ages.
You mentioned one should not alter fate.
Yes.
Yet you are the one that we shall strike against to be a new direction in this
Dawn,
game.
yes. I'll read the more I could say. Leora.
She would look up from where she's sitting and respond with a simple yes.
Are you aware of your ancestor? Muse.
I'm aware of Muse, yes.
I'm so very sorry that you were placed into this predicament then. It was not fair. You and Foshka are not so unlike. Remember that. That is what advice I would like to give you.
That snake.
But I was told that I would see you at some point. I knew that. There is a woman in the south, a priest of Kalishran, one of your people. She has abandoned Muse so that she can protect the other followers of Muse. Ironic, I would say. But Kalishran is, after all, the god of secrets.
You know what their name is?
Fellows look remembering. She is named Kalamada. If you visit south of the Greendale Mountains, just when the plains turn to sands, you will find Kalashran's temple. He only wishes to be found if given permission by one of his priests. If you venture there, you will simply stumble upon it. So go, wander. Find your past, remember it. It is more important than you think.
Well,
Your godfather has done his best. I have watched him after all these centuries. He has never once faltered in his quest. He is the most honest choir folk left, whatever you might think. I want you to know that he tried.
thank you. Are there any others?
There are more, I think, but I do not know. She looks up to the sky. Whatever it is, if there are many remaining, they have either gotten quite good at disguising themselves, or there are simply no more left to die. They usually burn quite brightly in the night's tapestry, and so few have popped up as of recent.
Is there any way I can save them?
That, my dear, I do not know. But I can provide you a direction to figure it out.
Yes, please, anything.
Before I do so, I have been waiting on this moment for years. Near a century. It is what has been keeping me alive. I do not know if I will live or have a reason to after it has been given. So, if there are any burning questions you must inquire about before I leave you with my parting gift, please speak.
What do you know about the Curse of Tears?
She smiles. What is a prophecy beyond a curse? When someone regrets something so much, what is produced in their watering eyes? You must figure out why it is that a being sheds tears in such a manner.
That hole in the tower in Teresaz, eating at the world.
What about it?
Why is it there? Why does it continue to be there?
One screams because they are frustrated, among many reasons. When one attempts something, throws all their might against a punch in order to break a concept of the world, do they not have the right to be frustrated?
Then why must all the greatest creatures in the world all be broken?
Because shattered creatures are the ones that cut their impression deeply into the palm of the world that squeezes them. People who are put together, they persevere, they live their lives in happiness and peace. They accomplish what they wish to. Those who are broken lash out, try to break the world around them. People remember not the construction of grand monuments, but recall very painfully the day they are torn down. Healthy people build. Injured people destroy.
Then perhaps life itself is cause for Erica's tears.
That would be the realm of the philosopher. In either case. Back to you, Lorenz. I would like you to withdraw a deck of cards, should you have it.
He does. He reaches into his satchel and produces a deck of cards.
Shuffle it for me. Intend it. Think about it. Scrutinize it.
Oh, all right. And he does. He shuffles it. He shuffles it with the practiced, nimble movements that he's used to. He takes a while with it, though. Takes his time moving the cards in between each other.
Have you ever wondered why you had a connection to the stars, Lorenz?
I've been asking myself that a lot more lately.
Produce a card to represent each of your 5 compatriots as if you were giving them a reading.
All right. And Lorenz straightens up the deck, finished shuffling it, and he, one at a time, flips each card onto, I don't know if there's like a surface or a table or something, but
There seems to be a central table that the wheelchair of Eleanor is parked at.
he will flip cards individually onto the table. To give a nice satisfying flick.
If I send you the description of which card is shown for each of the 5, would you like to read them? I have sent you the tarot document.
I would be delighted.
Foshka is the 3 of Swords. Oh, I'll actually just put it in your message who is who. Give me 1 second.
No problem. I'm a little nervous. This feels like a lot of pressure.
Those are the results of your reading.
Okay. Lorenz is going to grab a card corresponding to each and one at a time hand them over to each member of the party. So first, he grabs the Three of Swords and goes over to Foshkra.
Foshker just looks at it like,
Picture, picture,
Confused.
picture, picture, picture.
This is the Three of Swords. Berserker, the brutal, barbaric side of warfare. Those who have a more bestial nature.
nothing new there.
Lorenz nods and moves along over to Fenton. He hands Fenton a card. The Five of Scales. Metaphor. A new discovery. Coming of unexpected things. Curiosity.
Seems appropriate.
Over to... Oh, I think I might have mixed it up. Oops. No, I didn't.
No, you got it right.
I did. All right, and then over to Chain. The Three of Scales. Mesmer. Inner turmoil that comes from confusion, fear of failure, or faulty information.
Jane just silently looks at the card.
And he moves on to Reed, handing Reed a card. The
What
Five
is
of
it?
Symbols. Druid. Ambivalence and cruelty of nature. Those who feel drawn to it. Turmoil and chaos most primeval.
Give him a snarl.
And finally, to Leora. I'll give you 1 second.
Oh, is Leora's card a foiled version? Worth more money?
Only 20 left in
Sort it
the world.
out.
Only 20? You gotta save him quick, Leora.
I think he means 6 or 7, but
Okay. So, last but not least, Leora. Lorenz hands her a card. Nine of Symbols. Healer. Healing a contagious illness, disease, or curse. Those who wish to heal through understanding.
Thank you.
And he turns back to Lady Eleanor.
Do you know why I required you to perform that for me?
And I'm still a bit lost.
There are few in this world who have a gift of prophecy. Typically those of a vulpinal line. Do you know why?
No, I don't.
She raises her head to the sky and mutters something. Something along the lines of, Aerika, forgive me. And she turns down towards the rest of the group. You know of Muse, yes? One of the three that came before.
Yes.
Yes.
The curse of tears is the consequence of a prophecy given by an individual known as Aerika the Weaver. Does that name ring familiar to you?
It does.
She has written this world and all of the intertwining plots of fate. She is the one who cast the billiard balls into motion. But she does not have a perfect command over her own creation. Not at all. Weaving a world is a difficult thing to do, and every master of the craft yearns for an apprentice. Do they not? And so the curse of prophecy was given for her to indirectly seek one to replace her mantle. But there was more than Erica. Muse. One who writes stories. Well, that is only one part of creation. You all think, you all exist inexorably. Incorrectably, yes. You think for yourself, you feel so deeply, don't you? You are alive. You have Muse to thank for that. She is the one that sings. She was the one that caused and sung a life into existence. Thoughts, souls, they were her creation. But who would want to inhabit a world that, well, does not have anything in it? To the ignorant in the room, what is it that the lizard folk do best? They paint, they sculpt, they create.
The ignorant dance.
And dance as
Now?
well. It was the ignorant deity that painted this world, that built the mountains out of clay. He is called the painter, for it is his product that created this world we live in. I have my own deck, but before I explain what it is, Lorenz, come to me.
Lorenz hesitantly approaches, but he makes his way.
Oh boy.
From a pocket in her side, she produces a gold-trimmed card or pack of cards, very elegant, neat, bundled up. She shuffles it neatly between two withered hands and spreads it out on the table. Lorenz, I would like you to choose a card.
Lorenz hovers his left hand over the table, and he moves it over to the right and then back over to the left, and then he moves it down and plucks a card.
You turn it over and you can see the sort of exquisite trim of this card as it flips, shimmers in the reflection of the light. Something about this is quite magical, something ancient, this artifact that she carries. And you flip yours over to see a screaming young Vulpanal man clawing at his own face, claws digging into his flesh, spurts of black ink blood crawling down his neck, screaming in agony, fear, terror. You have drawn the mistake. It resembles you to a dot. The marking
Lorenz,
on your nose, the earring you wear.
he is staring at this card in silence.
Lorenz, are you well?
The mistake.
Not yours, yes, but a mistake nonetheless.
Who's
I don't know, but I know the consequence of it.
and what is that?
You have a twin. You were not supposed to.
I don't understand. Am I the mistake?
In many ways. Do not fear. You were meant to inherit a certain power, a certain prophecy, but it was split and fragmented. Turn the card to me, please. She extends her hand.
Lorenz does so.
She returns the card back and deals it out into 4 hands. What is the name of this type of deck called?
The prismatic deck.
The prismatic deck, yes, but also the tarot deck. Or more specifically, the one I wield was Tarot's deck. When Muse was near killed, the deity of the lizard folk, he was called Parrot in the ages of past. Inscribed upon a deck of cards, a way out. In a prophecy that I am about to tell, a way to escape Erica's cycle, this cycle of pain that we all live in. Before Tarot himself died, he left this with a certain lineage of Vulpanals, and it has eventually entered my hands to be told to you on this day. What I am about to reveal to you now, it is the fate of this world. Who am I to answer why you 6 were chosen? Perhaps it was random. Perhaps there was something in Erica's plans. But you are the ones who have ended up on my doorstep today. You all have your goals, you all have your dreams. This is how you achieve them. You, Lorenz. If I had to posit as to whose mistake it was, it would be your father's. It is possible he foresaw what was to come. With you and your other half. Such a thing should not exist in this world, but some parents love their children no matter how dire their circumstances are. She sighs and begins to shuffle anew. The reason why the superstition of not continuing a reading after the mistake is drawn is a thing is because that was the stipulation upon which Tarat required his deck to be read, for he knew that someday you, Lorenz, would come here, and you, the 5, the 6, would come to my tower today and receive this reading, this proclamation of the stars. All 6 of you are permanently worked into the story of this land, whether you like it or not. This is my reading. Please. And I am going to turn my camera on, actually.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
oh. Full face
Um,
reveal. It's a hyena.
I am sorry, I had to leave for a moment because the cats were being way too noisy because they needed
No
to be
worries.
fed. I
As we
just
do.
some questions. Did she specify anything about like why Lorenz's twin was a mistake?
No.
Okay,
She only said that you were twins, and that should not have been the case.
got it. Okay, just checking.
Okay, let me. Okay.
I think you missed our Lorenz. She said that if she had to guess, she would say the mistake was on the behalf of your father.
I did come back to hear that.
Sure thing.
Okay, I think that was the biggest detail there.
Man, this Fenton dating sim game is intense.
The lore.
Oh,
So, for clarification, was it said that the Ignan had their own deity, and then there was a
so
general
we gotta
lizard
drop
folk
this
deity,
somewhere.
or is it all in the
I don't
same?
know.
There's a general. There's only one lizard
I
folk
think
deity,
you
yes,
drop
and
it
his name was Terran.
because I think where
Okay.
they
Doesn't
show up
charge
where
it.
they were.
Because the earlier statement was talking about like a painter or something, and I wasn't
Oh,
sure.
okay.
Oh yes, that's the same one.
Okay.
There's Taras the painter. There's Muse the singer, and Erica the weaver. Let me. Set things up. I love this music. I think it was the perfect choice. If I say so myself.
It is fantastic, and you may have to mute it on your end.
Oh,
Because
nice,
it does
yes.
it does come through your own microphone.
There we go. Okay.
Oh,
There we go.
okay.
All right.
Incredible.
So she begins to shuffle this deck. And for the record, I'm horrible at shuffling, so. But. Oh, fucking hell. Jesus.
No, no, no. Go. Maintain the atmosphere. Maintain the atmosphere.
Yeah. Her aged and withered hands struggle to shuffle this deck of cards. But in either case, Christ, I'm so sorry. There we go. My table is too smooth. She lays out 3. Oh my, I'm so sorry. This is not how this was supposed to go.
It is a-okay.
First time live performing.
Yeah.
Now you have respect for the band kids.
I was not a band kid. Jesus. I practiced for this, you know.
Yeah.
And I
It's
should
really
do
not that bad.
Right.
that. All right.
I've seen worse.
Oh, yeah. 2 minutes ago.
I've done worse, so it's fine.
All right. Counting randomly. She lays out 6 cards like this. Are you guys ready to learn the next course of this campaign?
Oh shit.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Foskra, come to me.
He takes a step forward.
Scorch in the sun, blood in the mud. 3 of swords, berserker, Foskra, like a snarling beast you are. I shall reveal to you an enemy that you and your group must savage. For that is what you know best in the turmoil of a tenuous existence, but, Foskra, remember, it is only those who fail to understand that there is more to you than your rage. They're the ones that underestimate your heart. Pick one of these cards.
Like,
Foshgra
yeah, only
would
4
pick
people got it. So yeah, like
the
you
one
have
on
to
top
soak
in
the
the
damage
center.
with someone.
Okay.
Ace of clubs.
Indeed.
The one of swords. Torture. The coming of suffering or merciless cruelty. One who is irredeemably evil or sadistic. Find a not man of absolute, utter cruelty, who treats the plains as if they were his personal causeway. A man of chains, a man of horn.
Man of chains and horns.
Chain, come to me.
Chain will step up.
Hush of the moon, quiet in the night. 3 of scales, you are the illusionist, Chain. You are clouded, Kenku, by hate and remorse, drowning, choking on this tepid fog. This card reveals someone who can lift you from this mist, for you and your group to explain what I cannot. A source of information invaluable. Pick any of the outermost cards.
Chain will pick the one that your right hand is currently over.
6 of swords. Go to the place which gave this land its name, a cathedral of scintillating, multicolored sights. That is where you will find this man that you seek. Fenton Tenenbaum, approach my stand.
He does so.
Wine in the mind, glimmer and gold. 5 of scales. Metamor. Curiosity kills the cat, but perhaps not the inquisitive bird. This card shall reveal to you the wielder of an artifact. 1 of 6, which has been lost to all eyes, even my own. Pick any of the outermost cards.
Fenton will tap a talon on the card closest to himself.
Lots of aces. Ho 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 ho. 1 of scales. Necromancer. Unnatural events and unhealthy obsessions. Those who follow a destructive path. Seek a broken woman of veils, funeral gowns, and parasols. Read Annulus Charbrine. You are next. Moss on the trees, the summer before fall. 5 of symbols. The chaos of the land is in your lifeblood, beating throughout blackened, melting veins. I will reveal to you the land of your incipient last stand, a ritual of defiance, where all the threads of fate converge into one unruly, tattered knot. Choose either of the outermost cards.
Reed will lean into the personal space of Lady Eleanor. Choose the one closest to her.
To her or to you?
To her.
Let's see. 4 of symbols. Shepherd. Those who protect others. Pardon me. Wait, hang on. Wrong one. No. Read. She looks a bit surprised, taken aback. We must, at the end of it all, return to where it all began. Here, in this very observatory. Leora, was her good?
You go
Leora
ahead.
approached me.
Leora would do so, bowing her head, regardless of whether or not it was seen.
You have perhaps the most valuable card. The soothing of prayers and song, 9 of symbols, you are the healer of Muse's choir. But it is through compassion that you heal. This card reveals a fated, predestined ally who will fight with you, shoulder to shoulder, until the inevitable, looming end. Seven of Swords. Soldier, war and sacrifice. The stamina to endure great hardship. Seek the one who has slain everything, including her own moral code, so that she may rise anew, stronger, kinder. And please, Leora, take care.
Do my best. Thank you.
She nods her head. Lorenz.
Lorenz approaches and takes the only card left on the table.
It again reveals the mistake. There's more blood on it. It is mirrored, though. The mark on your snout is on the opposite side. You don't know which one is which. Yourself or your twin. But still beats in your heart the image of the screaming volcano of yourself, burning into your mind, dilating your eyes, swimming it with red. And she flips it over a second later. Do not let that worry you.
It's hard not to.
She looks quite exhausted. She sighs. You might notice something familiar in the cards, Lorenz. You and your friends should decipher their meanings. Try to find connections with those that you know. I've given you a hint, which is all I can give. And you, Lorenz, have shown the other members of your party. Tarot could not make it obvious, or Erica would kill him. She did, eventually. Indirectly, I would say. But it is your way out. So go. Live. In this world. Break free from the cycle that wishes to keep you contained. This cycle of the stars and of the Weaver's circle. I have provided you the best answers I could. Anything else would disrupt the balance.
Oh, what of the shard?
The one that was brought to me?
Yes.
Consider it a matter of mutual interest. You can see her motion towards a pendant around her neck. She withdraws it from her shirt, and you can see in sort of embossed in gold is a sort of glittering red gemstone. You recognize it. Read in Foshka.
Who speaks in it? Who was caught up in it?
Sorry, say it again.
Who speaks through it? Who was caught up in its creation?
Let me see. A woman named Calvera. The daughter of Erica and Tarot. Quite sickly.
Perhaps one for you, Reed.
One for me?
If she is sick, then perhaps you have a connection.
Jesus.
He meant it in the nicest way.
Lizard brain strikes again. And will you be giving this to us?
She gives a slight sigh. I would be happy to, yes. She slips it from around her neck and hands it towards you, holds it out.
I grasp it. It looks so different now. Not surrounded by the colors of blood.
Much looks different when you're out of Tirisas. I would say it looks better.
This cycle that Erica has made. There are many of this world that seeks these. Are these to be brought together? Or
To form a crown. They circle your head, yes?
yes. Yes, the crown of stars.
A crown indeed.
There are 6, yes?
Yes. As far as I am aware.
That's number 6.
I would advise you to question. There was another group that came upon my doorstep. I gave them a similar prophecy, but perhaps it was too immature of me. I was young at the time. Consult the meaning of the cards. See if you can determine which 6 cards I gave them that day. Do you understand me?
I jingle the tear. Perhaps we could always ask them.
I encourage that you do. What do you and your group call yourself, if I may ask? You are tied together, after all.
Call ourselves. We are too hunted and rejected to have time for a name. There are too many walls to break down.
What answer did they give, Eleanor?
The fact that you asked the question makes me believe you know the answer.
The sirens, 6.
Yeah. And look where they are now. I believe I failed them. But now I know that I'd spent decades in regret, wondering where I went wrong. And I can't thank you enough for showing up at my doorstep, because now I know all along that it was for something. That the previous reading I gave was all part of the process, the next step in it, a story to tell. And I know this one was right.
We have not discussed the name or anything. We simply walked. We came here for answers, for that is where we were told we would find them.
And have you found them?
I have found more questions.
A question can also mean an answer. Because a question must hinge on something. A bit of truth.
What we have been given is a list.
A prophecy, yes. Bits of a puzzle. That the stars have given me. I can see she's visibly tired, weary, slowing down.
This cycle, Eleanor, what is the purpose of it? Do you know what it seeks to achieve? Why it was put in motion?
I do not know. After decades of searching, I do not know.
I'll Reed's just staring.
Say after a few more
I
moments
don't
of silence,
see it.
Foshkra is going to make move as if to leave and walk out the doors.
And where will you go, Foshkra?
To think.
I cannot keep you. But I am also tired, very, very tired. I have given you all that I am capable of. Go now. I will take care of you. Thank you for treating him kindly, Reed. He speaks of you fondly.
I don't know why. Goodbye, Eleanor.
Goodbye. Until we meet again. If we ever do.
There will be a new dawn.
But not everyone will live to see it. And yet still the sun rises.
Reed will walk out.
I think Jane will just silently stand and walk out.
Leora would follow suit, bowing her head on the way out.
She goes, well, she's blind. She doesn't respond to that.
Oren sort of lingers a little bit, but eventually he follows the others out.
Where do we even begin, Eleanor? This has been our goal now for... Well, I guess it's only been a few weeks, but...
There is no rush, Fenton. Remember something. And this is a lesson learned by the age from which I speak. Time is not your enemy. Forever is. Start somewhere. Or anywhere. It is better than watching the years go by.
Time feels short, but I will try to take your reminder. And I thank you for your wisdom in all of this.
Remember to smile, Fenton.
Yes, I will try.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
She stares silently, hands folded in her lap, as all six of you exit this small observatory and swing the door shut behind you into the thin, cold air. That is where I'm actually going to cut off the session for the night and let you all prepare. Sorry we're ending a bit early, but this was intended to be a short session for a reason.
Okay.
There is so much here.
Okay. I've actually
You got
taken
the 5 pages of notes?
Yeah, notes.
I have 3 pages of notes.
I actually
six and a
took
half
notes.
is my final count.
Okay. Hold on a second. Hold a second. Anything to say before I stop the recording?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Goodbye.
And the reason
to...
I wanted to keep you here is so you guys can theorycraft, discuss your plans forward now with the information you have in mind.
Okay. Yeah. There's some pretty obvious stuff. We can start with the obvious stuff. We'll get more clues.
I think one of those cards revealed a very obvious target, one that's probably been in our sights since, or at least Reed's sights since the very beginning.
So, the one for Sazala Esalama was to seek an artifact from them, correct?
Well, that's there was a woman in Vale, didn't it?
In Vales.
Vales, yeah. I think
I thought it's in Vale.
I think down the list, Foshkras was an enemy we have to kill. I think it was definitely the risen god Desbin is
A man of chain and horn.
Correct. A torturer.
Yes.
Again, up until the point where you said a man of chain and horn, I'm like, this very much feels like the jackal.
And then it's like I said earlier, hey, you want to protect us from a god? You're about to.
Chains was to go to a place that gave this land its name.
Cathedral.
Amadeus's palace is the palace of stained glass in Okerhelm.
How that ties in is going to be very interesting.
Well, it's just that there's
Wait,
a person there
Kenku?
that I need to talk to.
A
That will give
Kenku
us
has to go.
Good information.
A Kenku has to go to Asmodeus's palace.
Apparently so.
Yeah, quite the.
So we're going to have an entire arc of being activists in the Ochre
We'll
Kingdom.
just talk to the guy next session and ask for an invitation.
Sure, it'll go well.
The question is going to be, who is it in that fucking temple I'm supposed to talk to?
The Whistler.
That's when you talk to
Why
everyone.
the fuck is the Whistler there?
To show-
He's chilling.
And then Fenton's was the necromancer.
Presumably
Seek.
Sazala, right?
Oh, I
How do you
Yeah.
say that name, Phil? I feel like I've said it wrong every time.
Sazala?
Sazala.
Sazala Esalama.
Sazala, yeah.
In the tower in the middle of Terazaz, in the middle of the undead blight of Talani.
For an artifact.
One of 6.
Look, we've stolen
separate-
one artifact from her tower before. Surely we can steal another.
I'm sure the security hasn't been upped at all since then.
I assume this artifact is not a tier, which would be one of 6, but we'll see.
It could be, but it was said to have basically escaped everyone's vision.
The Fang of Shravasi? The Holy Tower.
Oh,
of Kavara?
that's possible.
I think it's a
That
body
is
part of
very
God
possible.
In any case.
Okay, hold on a second. The Fang of Shravasi, from the notes we have from Fluffy
Mutasin.
Batman Mutasin, is something that can completely erase something from reality.
Correct.
It would
An
be
artifact with a
capable
shrouded
of...
history.
Yeah, it would be capable of presumably ending Desmond.
Ooh, maybe we have an order of operations here. Not that I know where the heck Desmond is, but Lorenz does somewhere in his head, I think.
Lorenz, is one of the Risen Pantheon in your brain?
Hold your secrets, Volpanel.
All right, then. You keep your secret.
Lorenz, I'll give you the chance to.
He is muted right now. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's probably dealing with cat
Presumably there's a
emergencies.
cat.
Yeah, he probably got Charlie.
Okay, so
Next on the list is Reed's, which was to basically final stand in the observatory.
the final battle in the observatory atop
Where
Estelheim.
all began.
And where we started, aka 6 months in.
Us in the observatory with a knife.
Everything prior to this was session 0.
None of us use weapons, so there will be no knives.
I have a
Chain,
bong stick.
Soul knife.
Chain could use a
Pump
knife
stick.
very well.
I'm good at using knives.
Killing with the dagger of inclination.
If Chain,
Give it.
Oh, give Chain the dagger of inclination to stab a god.
That would be so chaotic, but so on brand.
What do you have there? A knife.
no!
Hey, I have a knife and a gun now. Fucking come at me.
Chain's become a pirate.
But I believe
Now Chain can finally go do a crime.
I can do so many crimes.
And then we have, was it Leora's?
Yes.
Well, what was
yeah.
Val going to say to Lorenz?
Go ahead and give me a straight charisma check. Over the entire ordeal of this, you feel the same sort of hair-raising sensation on your neck, a splitting headache that beats into your mind as you did all those times before.
Oh,
That fucking.
oh!
Oh my
War
god!
crit.
You
War
are the
crit
Star
every time.
Fox.
Oh my gosh.
Turn the fucking
Was it-
recording back
Great
on.
at what we're good at.
Splintering sensation in your mind, you realize that all of the visions you've been having are in connection to this deck. What you have been seeing are glimpses of someone looking in at every single individual framed by this deck of cards. In all these scintillating images, you remember the Vulpinal, this choirfolk being left in the rain on the doorstep of an Inari noble's house. You remember the sort of wind-whipped form of the Rook of the Sky standing on the sands looking down at Udaziz. And you remember your time interloping in the office of an airship. A man looking out the window, austere, proud. And the vision continues for a slight second longer than normal. When you last remember it fading, it simply ended, but now you're slinking behind this man, peering throughout this room, looking, observing, and you catch out of the corner of your eye yourself in the mirror. It is of yourself, but with the marking on your snout reflected in the mirror in such a way that it is not you, but your twin brother.
Oh
And that is when it fades.
my god.
One soul, two foxes.
Oh. Oh my god. The reveals tonight. I'm not gonna be the same.
Join the club.
Eh. I just got more
hope-
people to kill.
Foshka being told, "Screw you, you do have a god. Get over it."
Yeah, by the
Love
way.
that.
And then told that the fucking Vulpinal god killed our god.
I mean, to be fair,
The
Fel
one
did
race you didn't
say.
hate.
Fel did say that he was seeking a way out of the cycle, so that could have been possibly maybe.
Oh no, the prisoner is trying to leave. Let's kill him. Oh, of course he's in the wrong.
Oh, wait, I have it. This entire campaign is just Fel's terrarium. We gotta break out of the terrarium.
I never lied to you on that.
You just figured that out now?
I'm convinced of it.
I thought we knew this since the beginning.
I'm sorry, read special.
Reed is a very special boy. Yes, he is.
I will share with you. Sorry?
I was just mulling over all this in my head. In your mind, because you have already touched upon the aspects of the deities influencing or infecting the minds, souls, and actions of those that they birthed or whatnot, like Furna and the Knolls and all that. And I can't say much about the other three lizard folk tribes, but Ignan's being so damned independent and trying to and just basically emotionally raging against the cages that have been placed around them. Is that coming from Tarot?
That's a good theory. Do you think I'm going to confirm it?
Not now. I need to find more lore.
Yeah, you do.
More lore! The second fox!
Moral
Um,
lore.
I guess to continue on with our list to Leora, a fated ally.
Oh, I assumed it was Mauve because she's alluded to crossing personal boundaries.
A soldier that's tough, will never back down, has killed everything, including her own morals.
I would say Gunter, but the prophecy
The
says
her,
her. Yeah.
I think as far as people we currently know, Mauve fits
Oh,
best.
the fucking one-eyed paladin.
She seems pretty like in her morals.
But she
The one
straight
that was
up
like nice to Ching.
She said
Yeah.
some questionable things about hoping
that we're different, so she doesn't have to come after us.
True. However, consider we don't have art of her available
We
to us.
do.
We do?
Yeah, half-face.
We do.
Yes,
do.
half
Oh,
face.
half face. I thought you were talking about someone else.
No,
Okay,
no,
so
half face.
there's potentially Mauve, but Mauve is too happy a character. Potentially half-face. Half-face is going to take some work.
Half face has also lived forever, so imagine how broken an immortal character, immortal mortal could be.
That's a lot of emotional hit points to get through.
I think that one remains to be seen. I don't know if we have a solid answer on that one.
What do you think of the choir folk that have been alive for that long?
Details, I guess.
We haven't met a female choir folk yet, other than Leora. There is the one that was just alluded to. That is the priestess of another god.
Yes.
Down south of the Greendale Mountains.
Mhm.
Basically, you have to stumble onto it.
I like that. That's a cool bit of lore.
Oh, the
Kalamata
lore.
Olive.
No,
That's what I thought too.
no. Okay.
What?
You made me do?
No.
It was
No.
a mnemonic device. I will remember her name.
Calamita Olive. So
Now
you're
I'll
safe.
picture an olive grove south of the Greendale Mountains, and Fenton will remember it forever.
That would actually be kind of cool.
Okay, so next session, we need to take Echo bar hopping and wreck some places and deep ponder.
Well, actually, that might work out because Fenton and myself need to rake up some cash.
Yeah, we gotta earn some money. No, there's so much to do. My goodness. Do we want to? Is there anything to pull from Lawrence's second mistake card? Kill the twin.
We don't know yet.
I don't
We don't
think
know
that was
yet.
the message.
No, I don't-
All we know is that this happened. It shouldn't have happened, and the result is unclear even to like Lorenz is the billiards ball that just quantum looped and split into two, and one's traveling back in time.
Is Lawrence's whole story just going to be him having to systematically murder his entire family?
Oh my god.
God, I hope not.
Just remember, you're adopted. You're not blood.
This isn't a lore document, but might be relevant.
Interesting.
Also, the quote for this lore document was made by Sierra and Bell and not Yurika.
Siren's all over these documents.
Oh yeah.
Most of them are Siren.
I
There
think
are
the-
exceptions.
I think the safest places to go are going to be either to Okerhelm for information or to the Green Dells for to look for this Kalistran priestess choir folk.
I mean, to get to the Green Dells, we basically have to cross Talani no matter what now, right? That's near the sands, if I'm not mistaken.
Visiting Turisaz is where we would find an artifact, and if the ally is mauve and not half face, it would also be where we'd find that ally. However, I think
Are we ready to face everything in Thurisaz right now?
that's the big question.
No, because if we step foot in Thurisaz, then there's also the Jackal.
Correct.
I mean, I think it's safe to limit us to the west side of the SGL, at least for now. There's still a shard in the Twin Blades. There's a bunch of shenanigans in Estelheim. There's Foshkra's northern coast, and now there's the Ochre Kingdom.
Yeah, I mean, we just finished one thing off the list, and it was the largest lore dump.
I deleted one chunk off of my to-do list in Estelheim, so we're off to a great start.
I added something to my to-do list for Estelheim.
It grows.
Gross.
As soon as Fel gives us rain to go throughout, Foshka is gonna find the nearest Orin as close to the top of the freaking observatory, grab them, and ask them if they knew about Tarot.
You are lucky that I was not grabbing every first person I saw and shaking them, saying, "Is it secret? Is it safe?"
We have 3 out of 6.
God, I didn't. I almost.
No, we just need to stay away from fucking Utherin.
Stay away.
She's whatever.
Why not?
She can just die.
Oh, why not walk directly at? This is a game of chicken. Utherin's not ready to win.
I think I'm ready to be the car crash, not just the traffic jam.
Wow.
Yes!
Wow.
Yes!
Poetic.
First off, another excellent one-liner. Second off, read once in on this.
Are you typing it, Shane? Are you typing it?
Yes.
Okay, I was typing it too.
Oh my gosh.
Brilliant.
We enjoy your presence.
Oh my god. No, stop that.
No.
Where do you keep pulling these one-liners from? For crying out fucking loud.
My brain just produces them.
I believe in character Reed is the one with 1,000 screaming voices, but in real life, that might just be Loren.
It might be me. Yeah.
Speaking of Lorenz, are Lore and Foshka meant to be like the chosen apprentices? Their respective deities? Well, the one that no longer exists and Eureka?
I think that's unclear. Well, no. I think
Lore.
the interpretation there is that, at least with the Vulcanal culture, that prophets and starseers are quote unquote assistants to Erica or their grand design. And I think there's been some allusions here that Lorenz just might be one. Not 100% sure, but I get the feeling.
Wait. Hold on. Lauren's being quote unquote the mistake. Is that why all of these damn astral beings keep trying to kill him?
I'm going to take that giggle
it?
as a yes.
What
yeah,
is
the
it that one astral warrior said to us on our second journey back on our way out from Curious?
He called Lorenzo Star Child or something like that.
It said something that did not belong to him.
Give me a moment.
Yes,
I think
please
at
go
the- at
back.
at the end when Lorenz had the final shot on them, it was, of course, it would be you. If I remember correctly, which I might not.
The
Starlight
recordings are there
Seekers,
for a
Thieves
reason.
and Curs, these stars are not for you. Let's see. Did I write down what specifically was said?
You said, "I knew you would, child of
Child
the
of the stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just what has your twin been up to all this time? Surely not being in house arrest here.
No, but if they're on an
No, he's
airship,
apparently fucking spying on Desmond and Gunter and who fucking know whoever dropped off Leora and whoever.
That is a very good question because from what I gather is that from what Lucas said is that basically Lorenz's older sister is essentially his twin's caretaker. So I'm figuring that implies that at least presently there's something more going on there rather than just they're sneaking out or something.
Lucas did
Please,
mention that Lorenz's older sister is taking care of his twin, Parho, somewhere in the underbelly.
mhm.
I thought
Wait.
Arno was older than Lorenz for some reason.
the underbelly, isn't that
Twins.
the place in under Estelheim where all the
Yeah.
poor people
Yeah.
live?
Yes, it is.
Where all the poor people live.
That's how Phil describes it.
I'm
It's the
offended,
slums.
quite frankly.
That's how Fell describes it. Don't blame me.
I will blame you.
Tell, I'm kind of
Look, we can all blame Erica.
Let's blame Eric.
It seems so.
Okay, what are you confused about?
I have been under the assumption that Ayanga, the ones that we know of in the tiers, Ayanga and Eliana in particular, are from just pre-severing, which would have been hundreds of years ago. But it sounds like the Siren 6 going off of Tesar and Lady Eleanor, it sounds like it would have been much more recent than pre-severing.
Precisely, yes.
But we don't know that the people that
Okay.
are in the shards are the Siren Six.
What are you concerned about?
No, I'm just thinking I got it wrong a little bit. Fenton did.
Yeah, I don't think the people in the shards are the Siren Six.
There exists the possibility that you have not gotten anything wrong, but that also you're missing a piece of the puzzle.
Got it. That is not a I suddenly understand got it, but I accept your answer got it.
Regardless, we should ask the tiers what cards they were given, what fortune they were told.
That was a sharp inhale there, Fel. What were you gonna say?
Yeah, everything you do at this very moment is being scrutinized.
He was restraining himself from diving into his favorite hobby of divulging lore.
Correct.
I think asking any one of the shards that question will clarify in any case.
Yes. There is I noticed in the little newspaper clipping that you made, Fel, there is a little there is a little nod to where Euclaria is.
Correct.
So
There is.
I
Fucking what?
really deeply appreciated that. Very fun. The whole thing was just a joy to look at.
I hope you enjoy.
Yep, we're getting campaign music and campaign art and campaign newspapers.
We are in world.
I love being in world. Why can't it be
I
full
am
time? Actually,
immersed.
no. This is one of those look, don't touch kind of worlds.
This is like Warhammer 40k. Appreciate it from the outside.
Actually, Reed might be like Knowles in general might be the ones really enjoying it. Because if you're moving so fast that the sadness doesn't catch up, you're never sad.
Incredible.
The problem
Infallible.
with moving faster than
Shane,
light is
type
that
it
you
up.
can
I
only
know
live
you're
in
already at
darkness.
it.
No, I'm too busy looking at this fucking newspaper again. You type it up.
Well, I'm actually trying to find it myself.
Well, I already
don't remember
forgot
what
it now.
Ha!
channel it was posted in.
My words are so utterly inscrutable. It's just 1,000 screams.
Something about moving so. If you're moving too fast, then the sadness can't catch you.
No, that's wrong. It's if you're moving so much faster than sadness, you'll never be sad.
I seriously do not see a single reference.
Oh, it's very just. It is not on the nose at all. It is incredibly subtle.
Unless it has to do with Demon House or Fleck and Mist.
You got it.
Which one?
Yes.
God fucking damn it. I hate it here.
Val, can I?
You may if you'd like.
Okay, yeah. It does have to do with a demon house. So that is the direction. That is the nod.
Wow.
Into the slums we go.
Yes, into the
Oh, yeah,
slum.
What's our move in Estelheim? I think that's.
So
I don't.
the very
A
first thing
quiet
we have to
place
do
think.
is we have to find a place to think. Yeah.
We
know-
need
Then
to go to our
Great
mind
place.
palaces.
we're going to take Echo and we're going to consume libations.
That sounds great. I do think there are things that need to happen before the libations.
That's
Great place
too
to think would
bad.
be the library.
Maybe for you, that's not a good place for Foshkra to think.
I'm just thinking timely. We kind of need to renew Foshker's contract, which might mean we need to get some gold first. Fenton is unlikely to do anything before seeing his family. Besides, maybe talk a little bit.
Why can't we just kill everyone they send after Lorenz?
Because
Right.
they might be serious people.
They're green cloaks.
It is an option, so maybe if we do need to talk first, yeah.
Oh yeah. So Lorenz, you can fend for yourself. Yeah.
No. I want to kill them. You can stand and watch.
Oh, okay.
Remember, Reed, that the Green Cloaks in Thurisaz are possibly the bottom of the barrel when you think of the Green Cloaks in the rest of the lands.
That doesn't
So when's the
compute.
next session?
You think the same thing applies to the personal guards the Jackal keeps?
Yeah, that does not compute.
The majority of green cloaks are actually just kids who were raised in Turisaz that wanted a way out of the city and just signed themselves up to train under the green cloaks in it. For the record, but that does mean that a lot of the people who are stuck in Turisaz are maybe not the best of the bunch.
They were
Except for
deemed
Valgal.
too
Valgal's
feral for polite
Valagal is
company.
great. You'll show
Well, for
up.
clarity's sake, we traveled for 3 days.
A
I used
what?
5 of 6 spending spells in those 3 days.
Oh,
Is this day 4 here in Estelheim? I don't know if I'll use. I just want to know if I have full spell slots or not currently.
You do.
Are
Okay,
you
so I'm gonna
saying?
send. No,
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
kid. I kid. I that was the end of the sentence.
No, okay, yeah. I'm about to see. Are you saying I'm going to have to fucking punch the stupid face Noljock again?
Volgal?
Yes.
You punched
Ah!
Volgal? You punched one of Foshgra's friends?
You shouldn't make friends. You should be like me and have no friends.
You have
You seem
us.
pretty friendly with Echo there.
God damn! No, it's a.
He was practically licking Echo's face.
Shut
That's the
up.
most excited I've ever seen.
Reed and Echo, best fucking pair right there.
Was the remnants of Reed's tail wagging the whole time?
How
No.
many happy yeeing noises were coming
No.
That was the
We're ending the recording. Goodbye.
he ended